and will become the first item of business under the report of the superintendent portion of the agenda. A, approval. To approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Education of February 27th, 2012, study session of March 5th, 2012, study session of March 12th, 2012, and special meeting of March 19th, 2012. B, approval. To approve the personnel actions as submitted by Rebecca Peck, Director of Human Resources, leave of absence, elementary teacher. C, approval. To approve the bills for payment as submitted by Sherry Papazoglu, Director of Business and Operations, in the amount of $3,084,058.85. May I have a motion, please?
Madam Chair, I make a motion we approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Kuderick, and I have missing one member.
Support by Mr. Thede.
Yeah, I'm missing one member. He stepped out. Where are you? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You stepped out, Rob. Where'd you go? Okay, we are at the portion of report of the superintendent.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a number of representatives this evening from the Dart Swim Club, and I'm going to let Mrs. Peck, who has worked with the club a little more in depth than I have, give a brief introduction, and I think we have some nice things going on with our swim club.
So for the Board of Education, we have today Mr. Ted Davis. He is the owner-operator and head coach for Dart Swim Club. Mr. Davis came to us about 9 or 10 months ago, probably a little bit longer. It took a little bit longer to kind of work in. He loved our natatorium, as we all do. We love our facility. He came to us and asked if he could build a swim club program. So after talking in length with Mr. Davis, we felt that this was a great relationship to get into. He loves swimming. He loves children. He loves Romulus. His mission is to help us build a competitive swim team program in our public school system, one of my personal passions as well. I would like to introduce you to Mr. Ted Davis and his Dart swimmers.
Thank you. There's a microphone on the end of the table. Okay. If you could turn it on so that our viewers at home can hear you.
Right here?
Yes.
Sorry, do you want me to stand? I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
in the
just
middle.
in the middle.
Okay.
So the
Sure.
It's where the bullseye is.
cameras can get
Is
you.
it? Oh, boy. Well, as Mrs. Peck said, my name is Ted Davis. I'm the head coach of the Dart swim team. We came about a year ago. First conversation was with Superintendent Weiss about bringing a group of existing swimmers to this community and giving us the opportunity to build a swim team here. Where currently there was no program that existed. There was simply lessons out of Romulus Athletic Center. There was no competitive options for swimming. We felt it was a perfect marriage. You had a great facility. We had an existing group that would buy us time to get into the community and grow swimmers in this city. And we've really started to gain some traction. We're about 30% Romulus public school students now, which was up from 0 when we started. So we've really made inroads. We've developed a nice partnership with Romulus Athletic Center, where when kids are done completing the lesson program there, they're sending them to us. So we've tried to be, and we feel we've made good inroads in the community. We've tried to be good community partners. And we just thank you for allowing us to welcoming us into your community and letting us utilize your facility. Do you have any questions about the team?
He just answered one of them right off the top. So.
How long does your program run for?
United States swim clubs typically run about 11 months out of the year. I say out of 52-week year, we're swimming 45 weeks, ballpark.
Okay. What's your age group?
Primarily, we're dealing with as young as 6. Right now, our team, the oldest, is 17. We have one 17-year-old. The vast majority of our team is under the age of 12.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah. Do you, take beginning swimmers as well?
We do.
To
We
teach them
offer-
skills for competitive?
Yep, we offer everything from a learn to swim program all the way up through advanced high school level competition. I was telling Superintendent Weiss earlier that we witnessed the Downriver Swim League on the girls' end, and we figured our 11-12 girls, we would have finished third in the high school. We would have beat everyone but Dearborn and Edsel Ford. Everyone else we would have beat handily.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, how many do we have in the program right now?
Right now, we're at about 50 kids. So we're growing slowly but surely. We've really made some nice progress with this past winter season, getting a lot more Romulus residents involved. Surprisingly, boys more than girls, which is interesting because typically swimming is there's more girls that compete than boys typically. So
You just offer the swimming, no diving or nothing like that, right?
we do not offer a competitive dive program. No, the only diving is off the blocks to start a race. That's it. What we did want to do was present you with a plaque thanking you for welcoming us into your community. This is Dart Swimming presents Romulus Community Schools in appreciation for your support of Youth Swimming 2012, and I think the kids wanted to actually give this to you.
Okay.
I don't know who, do one of you want to?
President.
School Board President? Go ahead. Go on up.
If we could have them let everyone know their names and their ages and maybe even what events you actually compete in. Okay?
Might want to give them a
So
microphone.
You guys want to go get the microphone, and thank you so much.
Now
This
they
is
don't want to
awesome.
jump up, Danielle. You scared them.
Go ahead.
I'm Olivia, and I like the 100 brass, and I'm 10. My name is Brooklyn, and I like the 100 freestyle, and I'm 11.
I'm Mary, and I like the 100 backstroke, and I'm 11.
I'm Allison, and I like the 50 breast, and I am 8 years old.
I'm Hannah. I like the 100 back. I'm 12.
I am Samantha, I like the 25 free, I'm 7.
I'm Anna Maria, and I like the 500 freestyle, and I'm 11.
Wow.
Wonderful job. Yay. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Davis, I have to say, you know, our pool's been open for over 10 years. And I think you have the most successful program and the most promise. And so good luck to you, and we encourage you to keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You know, before you sit down, I wanted you to give some information on how our parents can contact you.
Okay. Easiest way is email. It's on our website, actually, dartswimming.com. Or you can always email us at dartswimming@gmail.com. I'm hesitant to give out my phone number since this is
email's
public.
fine.
Email's fine.
Yeah.
But actually, our spring session is going to start Monday, April 16th. We're putting a flyer out to the schools. Our new member night will be Tuesday, April 24th, I believe, where we'll be going through and water testing new swimmers to join the group. And this session again, we are offering 1 month free to Romulus public school students. So trying to entice people to join.
Mrs.
Can we put
Booker?
that on our website or a link to their website,
Okay.
from our website?
Just a couple quick questions. You mentioned that you have them as young as 5, 6 years old in your program?
Yes.
And at that age, they're competing too?
It
What's the youngest
depends.
they compete at, age level?
Honestly, we would, if a 5-year-old was ready to compete, we would allow them to compete.
What events would a 5-year-old compete in swimming? Because I'm kind of naive on swimming.
Sure.
You know, you dive in, you swim like crazy to the other end, you hit the wall and come back.
Well, when you're 5, you don't even hit the wall and come back. You just hit the wall and stop. So you're happy you made it 1.
I got some 5-year-olds I'll race now.
So,
Got a chance.
so typically, when you're talking about events of 6 and under, you're talking about 1 length swims.
So
for
a
the
length
most
of the
part.
pool,
Yep.
1 lane and everything? Because I
Yeah.
know I heard a couple of them saying 100, and I'm like, gee.
Yeah, I don't want to
Not
race them
without-
either
not
in
with-
100.
Not without arm floaties and a life vest for me.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
You're welcome. Thank
You got a
you.
good program, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just so you know, you're welcome to stay, but we understand you're busy people, and you won't hurt our feelings. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
No problem. Thanks for joining.
All right, next on my report, a discussion, our board policy revisions. I wanted to just have a preliminary discussion with the board. At the time that we gave you your policy books, we set out some timelines which were not accurate. They wouldn't allow us to meet our early June requirement for the board approval of the anti-bullying, and so I've revised the timeline a little bit. And I want to start off with giving you some possibilities here, and I don't want to embarrass anybody or have a contest on who's read through them the quickest or anything like that. But what I need to inquire as to whether or not we can step up or move up the deadline a little bit. Initially, I asked you to complete your first reading with any questions or corrections by April 23rd. And I wondered how we're doing on that deadline, if we could move that up a little bit, without major impositions. Would that be all right?
How far are you?
Update said we were going to go through it tonight, so I poured through it this week. I'm good to go.
How far are you wanting to move it up to?
April 2nd?
Oh, I can do it.
Yeah, I did it this weekend, so I'm good.
I gotta see what April 2nd is.
April 2nd? It's,
That was our next scheduled meeting anyway.
yeah, that's a budget meeting, and I thought we could shoehorn in a little preliminary discussion, but we don't finish tonight.
Okay. I don't remember that one.
That would then,
April 2nd.
yes,
Is that a 5 p.m. one?
I believe it is. I didn't bring my calendar in.
And
It's a 5 p.m.
Are we going
Hey,
to
you gotta
do
stand.
review and first review
No.
and revisions both on April 2nd?
No, what we would do is a review. We'll read through, we'll discuss, and we probably won't get through the whole thing on that night, but the goal would be to have the revisions all completed by April 16th. And then we could have our first reading basically on April 16th if the revisions are completed as well.
First public reading?
Yes. That would then, and usually there's very little change between the first reading and the second reading, if any. So that would mean at the April 23rd meeting, which is a regular board meeting, we could have the second reading as well as official board adoption on the 23rd. So that would give us plenty of time then to file with MASB, send our approved version of the anti-bullying policy to the Department of Education, meet all our requirements. So if that's okay with everybody, I'll redo this document and send it out to you.
That's the topic sheet, the cover sheet.
Yeah.
It's this one.
Excellent.
Okay? So that was the first order of business. One other little detail, board policies 5030 and 5035. If you've read that far, there are going to be some additional revisions after Rebecca had contacted our attorney on a couple little details. And so rather than confuse you and hand those out now, I'm going to hand those out when I have time to explain them to you.
Okay.
So you'll get those pretty soon. Okay. So I hadn't planned for an in-depth discussion tonight because I didn't know where you were. What I wanted to know as a part of our discussion this evening on the board policy was basically if there were any questions or concerns on any of the policies or on the process, if anybody was confused about what your task is.
I remember the process.
Pardon?
So I remember the process.
Uh-huh. And
So far.
were there any questions or concerns at all about anything you've done so far?